Hey everybody, Lee from PcjunkieMods here. This is part 2 to the ATCS chassis from Koolance. So as you can see right now, it is in pieces. I've already started some modifications. I've come up with a crazy idea that I'm actually going to do here, or attempt to do, whatever you want to call it. So this is the original front piece. I cut off the 5 1/4 and the hard drive cages. They came off at this angle here, and then I riveted it together with some 90. I put in this 90 here, this 90 here, here, and here. And then I was looking at it and I was like, man, that looks like shit. So basically, I have my torch here. I have some new front pieces, and I have some aluminum weld. This is called Fuse. I've had it for quite some time. I've been anxious to use it, and now I'm going to actually use it. I already did a test piece earlier. It worked great until I heated it back up and it fell apart. So that's what we're going to be shooting here. And I've also, I'll show you. So I've already made a new back plate. So this will be where the motherboard, the I/O and stuff is at. I cut out what was in here before, and then I just riveted this plate to the actual back panel. So the whole idea to this chassis is, this is up right side up right now. This will be the top, this will be the front, and my idea is I'm going to put in some rail system in here, and the whole hardware setup will slide out. So this is the motherboard tray. It'll actually be slid right in here. It'll be on rails, and so what I'm trying to do here, the whole idea is to have all my hardware on that tray, everything, nothing attached to the chassis, and the front plate will actually be attached to that also, and I'll just slide it all out. That's the idea. So that's what I'm going for, and so let's go ahead and get down to business here. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Alright, so I didn't get a chance to do any video of what the parts look like beforehand, but I got some photos and stuff, so let me go over a few of the parts. This is the new motherboard tray for the reverse ATX, or inverted ATX. You see screw pattern here for the micro ATX, and then I got a couple cutouts for some wires and stuff. Power supply will be here. This will be the front of the chassis, this will be the top of the chassis. So the powder coat looks awesome. It's kind of a candy red. It's a two-tone, it's chrome based, and then red over the top. So this is the motherboard tray platform that I custom fabricated. I did use some brazing in the corners here, and it managed to hold together during powder coat, which is awesome. We were both, my powder coat guy and myself, were a little worried about that, but for the most part, it looks good. And this is the custom top. This is the original piece from the ATCS chassis. What I did is I went ahead and ported it for the fans, and then Primochill was kind enough. I'll show you the parts that I got from Primochill. This is one of their three-piece rad grills. This will go right over the top there once I get everything installed. So that'll cover up the little, because there was a vent here. I couldn't cut it all out without screwing up my layout. So That's that.
That was fabricated there.
So the bottom piece, I didn't do anything to the bottom piece. This is the original bottom piece. No, not really any fabrication, just some screw holes. Made the holes bigger for the MMPC Tech feet, and then a couple of holes here on the ends, and then on the sides here. This is where the motherboard tray bracket mounts to. This is the new custom front piece. Triple fan layout, power switch, plain and simple. Screws right onto the front. That'll also get a rad grill on it. And then this is the back piece. So the outer frame on the back piece is the original piece. What I did is I ended up cutting out, wherever the power supply originally was at. I think it was down here. It might have been over here, I'm not sure. And then I made this piece and inlaid it into the actual frame. And then I drilled some more holes and countersunk my rivets here. I powder coated it as one piece to make my life a little easier. So that's pretty much that. And as you can see, this is the power supply layout and then the motherboard cutout. And then this is the original piece that is under the top piece. So this lays over the top of that, which this is mounted to the subframe, the actual frame of the chassis, and then this goes over the top and screws in. So what I did is I cut out the whole center here. And let's see, and then this is my custom fabricated front piece. So basically the front piece will screw into the 6 holes I have here. Looks like everything held together during powder coat, which is awesome. So this is my first time messing around with brazing, so overall seemed like everything came out pretty good. And here's my I/O panel. I think I cut some of the I/Os off of here. It originally was a 7, so I chopped it down to a 4 because it's going to have dual GPU. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this all put together here in a few minutes. Let me show you some of the stuff that Primochill was kind enough to send me. So I got some cool rad grills here. These are the new rad grills, all plexi, 3-piece plexi. So basically they glue them together for you. So there's like maybe a 1/16 of an inch top piece, and then the other two pieces glue onto the bottom of that. So I got 2 of those, one for the front, one for the top. Then I also got the Vortex flow meter, the visual flow meter here. Went ahead and went with black and clear. So black palm and then clear outside. Really like these. They give you a little assurance that your system is still flowing. Pretty awesome. And he sent me a bunch of the Ghost. Are these the Ghost? No, these are the Revolver. These are the Revolver fittings. They're very nice. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to check them out or not. A lot of people I see are using them now. They're very nice. So I will be using PETG tubing on this setup, and probably red liquid, maybe clear. The liquid that Primochill was kind enough to send me was the ice. So this I may dye red. I am not sure yet. It may be too much red, so I'm not sure, because of the fact that most of the black pieces you see here are going to be hidden. The doors are both red also. And then also I want to show you guys the wires. These are all wires from Primochill. Actually, I think they're on the ModSmart, same company. So let me show you what the wires look like. So these are the wires. All the wires are pre-done already. I had them all. He asked me what lengths I wanted. I asked him for I gave him all the lengths, and he pre-did all the wires for me. So these are awesome. I know they've had these for a while, according to my buddy Larry. So you have to check it out. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a lot of video of the actual assembly of the mod. Here you can see that I have just assembled the outer frame and put on the top. And then in here, I'm assembling water block onto my Rampage Gene.
and then a nice close-up of the Adata XPG 1866 RAM. And then here I start to lay out the water cooling. I'm just trying to get a feel for stuff. That is a drain setup on the bottom right off of the pump, and then I have the flow meter there, and then the reservoir right above it. Nice close-up of the flow meter here with the drain port. And as you can see here, I've pretty much got all the stuff getting it assembled. Got the front on, the rad grills on in the front, laying out some more stuff. And here I got my switch in, my start switch, yay, and it works. Then on the top, you can see that I got the other rad grill in. I will be changing out the screws. These are all the screws that I had. I was pressed for time to get this done for LandFest. And then here you can see my dual 690s, the GTX690s. Oh, quad SLI, love it. And then here I've made my first bends. I've pretty much tried to go with a straight look away from every part, horizontal look. So the pipes come out and they go to the left, and one drops down into the bottom of the radiator, the other one goes to the top radiator, and then the one off the GPU comes off of the other port on the radiator. And then here's my first leak test. As you can see, I've pretty much finished off all the tubing. At the bottom of the res, it just comes out of the res and goes directly into the pump. That is the feed to the pump, and then from the pump it goes into the flow meter, which goes into the radiator, comes out of the back of the radiator, comes up to this first lower horizontal pipe, which goes into the CPU, back out into the top rad, which will come out and come into the bottom of the GPU around the reservoir, and then back out of the GPUs into the top of the reservoir. And here's another close-up of the Primochill. By the way, it is pronounced Primochill, not Primochill. I was corrected. I stand corrected. I've mentioned it many times in this video as Primochill. It is Primochill. This is a very good picture of the flow indicator in action. So let's take a look at the final product. Here, as you can see, it is all done. This video is being filmed after LandFest, which is, I was really pressed for time. I literally finished this build the Thursday before LandFest. Didn't even get any chance to do any testing. So I still haven't really done any testing. I did some gaming, so I guess that's a test, right? Because it ran all the games fine. I mean, what system's not with quad SLI, right? So anyways, this is my new land rig. It is a lot lighter than anything I've had. As far as systems I've taken to LandFest or shows before. So it's really light to me, but it's still got some weight behind it. One of the good things is all aluminum, so that lightens the load, and it's got a lot of stuff going on inside, but not so much that it's a tank. So I mean, just a little look at it. As you can see, I did go to red liquid. The Primochill red liquid is it's their UV dye, and that has got a real true red once you get enough drops in there. So as you can see, it's pretty much got all the custom cabling from Primochill or from ModSmart. Got the 690s up here, and just to kind of give you a breakdown of the loop, it comes out of the bottom of the res, goes into the pump, goes to this this three-way that I have here, that goes into the flow meter, which goes into the bottom of the radiator, and then comes back on the back side of the radiator, comes up a little bit and comes across, goes into the CPU, back out of the CPU behind the reservoir, back up into the radiator at the top, and then out of the other port on the radiator, you'll see this hose come across here, plug into the GPU, it comes out here and goes into the top of the reservoir. Some people ask me why there's a little jog. As you can see, it goes over and then kind of comes up and goes across. That's to dodge the bracket on the reservoir. I did not mess that up. I had a couple people, dude, what happened to that hose? That was purposely done. That was the only way that I thought that it would still look good. I'm sure I could have came over, went up, and then down, but that was just too many bends, and I already have one bend here, one bend at the bottom, and then it goes in, and that was complicated enough to get it around the reservoir. So for the most part, I'll give it a spin around. Here's the front with the new Primochill rad grills. These are pretty cool. If you get a chance, pick some up. They're probably the only rad grill that I've seen that's actually true to size. This is literally the same size as the width is the same size as the fans. So, you know, a lot of times I have to ask, hey, well, what size is your grill, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, it's 140 millimeters versus 120, which is the fan. So when you're doing a custom mod, you got to accommodate for that. And then as you can see on the back here, it's just nice and clean. This is pretty much my exhaust area for the system because everything is intake. So I have air that comes out here, air that comes out here, and then obviously the air that exhausts from the power supply. And then of course these vents here, but that's pretty much it. I try to keep it a positive system to where everything flows out the back instead of in my face or upward. I'd like to thank Primochill for sponsoring my build. Once again, thanks for watching my video. Until next time.